Boys and girls, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content. This is my first time doing this game, but I wanted to get some stuff out there. So I have a few replays that I had picked out that I want to use that we're going to go through for an Elemental Hero deck. It's not my original deck idea. It was posted by Decade or Duel Links Meta, whatever you want to call him, wherever he goes by to you. And I took it and changed like one card. I'll go ahead and put the deck list up in the corner just so you can see it while we play. So the first duel is against Yami Yugi, which means, to me, automatically I think burn deck. Mind you, these replays are kind of old, so I'm going to kind of be going through them with you as we watch them. If I see Yami Yugi, I automatically think burn, like no questions asked. So let's see what happens here. I'm going second, which is usually good in Duel Links. Okay, so it's good that I started with Wild Heart. Wild Heart's a really good card to start out with against any kind of burn deck or stall deck. Wild Heart's pretty much the reason his deck works at all. So he's dropping... what is that? Backup Squad. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a burn deck. 100% burn deck right here. That is for every 1,000 damage he takes, he gets to draw a card. Alright. So immediately we're going to open with Wild Heart. How do I change my view? Let's pause for a second and change this view to an overhead view. Is that possible? Let's do top down for this. Oh, that's way better for this. Okay. So he floodgates, but haha, joke's on him. You can't floodgate Wild Heart. So Wild Heart's going to attack. He can't do anything about it. For those of you wondering why Floodgate didn't work, Wild Heart's completely immune to the effects of all trap cards. It doesn't even have to be a targeting trap card. Something like Wall of Disruption or Mirror Wall still won't work. So that's what he got here. Up Sky Star Ray. Okay, it's pretty standard burn fare. I haven't seen Backup Squad in burn too much, but it's a pretty cool tech choice for just getting to draw more cards to pull into more of your burn stuff as quickly as you can. So Sky Star Ray banishes itself. Now right here, it's kind of a hard call on what to do, because I don't want to summon another monster and then have him Lava Golem me. So right now, Wild Heart has the field, so he uses Enchanted Javelin. This is one of the few trap cards that will actually work in this situation, because it doesn't affect Wild Heart, it just affects the player. So Wild Heart attack is basically negated, but that's all. He takes the 1500 damage, he gets to draw his card. Destiny Draw. Now, I don't know what he's going to pull with Destiny Draw, but I definitely don't want to pull another monster into a not into a Wild Heart, into a Lava Golem. But then he plays Temple of the Mind's Eye. So now we have a problem where I'm going to start needing to play more monsters because damage is going to become an issue. So he attacks. I go ahead and pop Wall of Disruption to negate the attacks, because that would have been 2,000 damage right to my face if I had let that go through. They both get dropped to 0, and they clear his field afterward. So the Inaba White Rabbit will go back to his hand, the Sky Star Ray banishes itself, and his field is now empty. So unless he has a Sphere Karibo, he can't really do anything. So it's my turn. I still don't want to play another monster because I don't want to get Lava Golem, so I'm going to go ahead and attack with Wild Heart. So now this puts him in KO range from 2 attacks. So at this point, I'm pretty comfortable with the idea of playing my second Wild Heart next turn, just so I can get through and do KO damage. So let's see what he does for what is hopefully his last turn. Sky Star Ray is back. He drops his face down card, and he probably was going to play that Inaba White Rabbit again. Oh, so does Sky Star Ray. So, same shit. So he's attacking directly. I don't really have anything to negate it with, so it's just going to go through. It's going to do a solid 2,000 to me. Okay, so now his next turn, and so this is potentially his last turn. My next turn is potentially my last turn. We're both in KO range now. But I have another Wild Heart in my hand. So my thing is that face down card enemy controller. If it's an enemy controller, he wins. If it's a trap card, I win. So I'm going to play my second Wild Heart. We're going to try to cut through the trap card. Oh, it's nothing. So it's 1,000. And then if the second Wild Heart attack goes through, that's the end of the duel. Oh. He gets his backup squad. I saw that and I panicked for a second that he was going to activate a trap that I didn't remember. But it looks like Wild Heart is going to end it right here. Yep, and that's the game. So, I mean, that's against a burn deck. That's a very meta deck. Elemental Heroes managed to win. I don't think this deck is, like, super overpowered or anything like that. I mean, it's a good deck. I just think it's a way to show that the Elemental Hero cards aren't completely useless if you want to play them. So, let's go into Yugi Moto, which this, I believe, is Cyber Angels. I think. So, Japanese Cyber Angel player. With Elemental Heroes. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think it is Cyber Angels, though. I will say I'm not King of Games with this hero deck. I'm actually Legend. I'm having a lot of trouble getting out of Legend with them because the problem is, while they can win, they definitely have some rough matchups with the more meta card. Like, the meta decks are just more forgiving. Like, if an Elemental Hero deck, if something goes wrong, it could very well end the entire duel. Whereas stuff like Ninjas, Hazy, it's just more forgiving. So he's leading off with, yep, Senju. So that's definitely the Cyber Angel deck that I thought it was. He is pulling Ida 10. I'm not going to bother explaining any of his Cyber Angel cards because God only knows if you play Duel Links, you know how Cyber Angels works. So I got a Mirror Wall. I got the enemy controller for the inevitable Dakini. So I'm just going to go ahead right here, lead with Heat, get as much damage as possible on my first hit. It's only 400, but still. And I don't want to send Wild Heart in, because inevitably this card is going to get Dakini'd. I don't want to send Wild Heart or Ocean in and sacrifice them to Dakini when their effect is going to be more useful to me than Heat's might well be in the match. So, Machine Angel Absolute Ritual, he's going to summon Ida 10 by sacrificing Ben 10, which will get him his ritual and his goddamn Dakini. Yep. So a Dakini is definitely coming. Cyber Petite Angel. So he already had Dakini then, if that's, or maybe not. Maybe he's going to summon the Cyber Angel, the Cyber Petite Angel to get the Dakini so he has enough ritual fodder. He must not have had ritual fodder. Yeah, so that's 6 and 2. So that's the 8 that he needs for Dakini. Oh, Lord. Alright. So there's the Machine Ritual. Yet again. That's the generic Machine Angel Ritual. So now he has protection in the graveyard. Here comes Dakini, 3,700 attack. But he got rid of any of his other monsters on the field. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and use Dakini's effect. Yep, shouldn't have done that. If he had left the Dakini without using its effect, I'd have been in some trouble. I still could have won the duel because he has nothing else on the field. But he pretty much bankrupted himself right here. So Dakini dies. Actually, you know, maybe that was the right move, because if he had just left that Dakini with 3,700 sitting there by himself, I would have just econ take next turn and I would have attacked him directly and won. So here's Ocean. The reason I didn't want to sacrifice Ocean and I used Heat instead is that Ocean, even though it's a little bit slow, he can allow me to recycle my monsters so I can get Heat back next turn. Once he up, Machine Angel Absolute Ritual. So he's going to toss a Dakini back to his deck to get another Dakini, of course. So I don't have an econ. I can't do anything about the effect this time. So he's going to toss it. He's going to attack me directly. I'm going to let it go through. I have cards that can deal with it, but I'm going to take the hit so that I can activate my Skyscraper. Now this was actually a bad play on my part. So what I should have done was, I believe I have a Wall of Disruption down. I believe. Okay, so there's my Skyscraper. Yeah, I have Wall of Disruption and Mirror Wall. I should have used the Wall of Disruption to make it so that the Dakini would actually have low enough attack that Wild Heart could get over it. But I got lucky and I top decked Heat, who has enough power to get through Dakini with Skyscraper. So he sends the Machine Angel Ritual, he banishes it so that his Dakini doesn't die, because, you know, obviously Cyber Angels needs a lot of protection also. He's going to attack directly, not enough power to get through Mirror Wall, so that Dakini is dead. He drops an enemy controller, so he wants to put my Heat in defense position so that Dakini will still be able to kill it. I flip Wall of Disruption, that way he still ends up with lower attack points than my Heat, because I don't want to lose Heat right here, because he's the only way I can get over Dakini, because Wildheart doesn't have enough power. So his Dakini's effect activates, he gets back a monster, but ultimately it doesn't matter, because Skyscraper is going to let me power through him and win the duel right here. Oh, it's another enemy controller, so if for some reason he didn't die right here, then we could have taken him this way. So I'll go ahead and drop Wildheart, and when you're attacking through Skyscraper, you always want to attack with the weakest one that you can, just so you get the highest differential in damage. So Wildheart kills Dakini, Heat kills Yugi, and that's a Cyber Angel deck. So I mean, that's Burn and Cyber Angels. Now I'm not saying this deck is better than Burn or Cyber Angels, because it totally isn't, but it can compete. I mean, that's all I'm trying to say, is that the deck can compete. You know what I mean? Let's see, what time are we on? It's about 10 minutes. We'll do one more replay. We'll do Joey, because this is a 6 Samurai deck. That's another deck that you're going to see on the ladder a lot. I wasn't able to find a Ninja or a Gladiator Beast deck when I was gathering replays for this. There was a lot of... I didn't want to get duplicate deck types. I played a lot of Burn. I had that Rex that was a dinosaur that I saved, but dinosaur isn't that common compared to like 6 Samurai. So I wanted to do one more replay of a deck type that you'll usually see. If I manage to come across some Ninjas and some Glad Beasts, I will save that replay. But alright, here we go. So I got a Mirror Wall down. I'm probably going to drop all 3 down, face downs, to be honest. Yep. And then Wildheart. So Wildheart gets the buff from his field spell, because Wildheart is a warrior. So he throws a face down card. Hopefully it's a trap card. And he's going to summon... I believe that one's called Zanji. Yeah, that's Zanji. So I went ahead and I popped the Mirror Wall here, even though he didn't attack. So the reason I did this is so I can pay the upkeep cost for Mirror Wall, which will put me low enough to get the Skyscraper. I know I didn't get the kill off of it, but this is the only way that I can be offensive, basically, is I need the extra attack power from Skyscraper. So I pay the 2,000. There's my Skyscraper. I'll drop Heat as well. I'm going to attack the monster first with Wildheart, because Wildheart will get the Skyscraper buff. I just realized Heat has 2,000, so he won't get the buff. And also, I don't want to walk into any kind of trap card with Heat, especially because now that I'm at a life point deficit. So he has Powerful Rebirth, which will revive his Zanji, and it'll give it 100 extra attack points. But I don't know if he just didn't realize this, but now that his Zanji is back with 100 extra attack points, Heat gets the buff from Skyscraper when he attacks him, because he's now stronger than Heat. So he manages to kill Zanji. I mean, I guess taking 900 is still better than taking 2,000 damage. So his Zanji is down. His turn, he draws another face down card. Powerful Rebirth again. Bringing back Zanji again. Mirror Wall's up, so he can't attack. So then he summons Hand of the 6 Samurai. And at this point, I thought he was going to use the effect to pop maybe Wildheart. I guess I don't know why I thought that, but I'm surprised to see that he didn't do anything. So I can't afford to pay for Mirror Wall again, but I did pick a second Wildheart. So no matter what that face down is now, I'm okay. I can get through both of the monsters. So Wildheart kills the Hand. The other Wildheart kills the Zanji. And then Heat wins the duel. So that's 6 Samurai. 6 Samurai is not as powerful as Cyber Angels or as Burn, but it's still a deck you're going to see a lot, and Elemental Heroes can still at least compete with it. Anyway, that's just kind of what I wanted to show. I'm going to stop here because I don't want the video to get super long. I'll do some more replays another day if need be. But I just wanted to show that Elemental Heroes, they get a lot of shit in this game. And yeah, Fusion Heroes are terrible. But this is, I guess, what you would call a little city deck, where pretty much just you rely on Skyscraper to get through bigger monsters, and then you play super control heavy on your the enemy's turn to protect your monsters. It's a good deck. I don't think it's like top tier, but I think it could be a solid tier 3 deck. Just Elemental Heroes. I guess you would call it Little City. I don't think it really translates over to what the TCG version of that was, but anyway, if you guys liked it, check it out, give it a try. It's a really cheap deck to make for the most part. I run a lot of URs because I'm a filthy whale, so I mean I can get them. If you can't get the URs, that's okay. You can always replace Mirror Walls. You can replace Floodgate, that kind of stuff with other defensive cards. Like, I don't run Curse of Anubis because I'm too lazy to get it, even though I probably should. But it's an easy deck to make. The monsters are really easy to come by. It's just the starter decks. I mean, you can run Neos Alias if you don't want to get Heat and you happen to have more Neos Alias. I think Heat's a little bit better, but it's a discussion for another day. All in all, it's a fun deck. It's a cool deck. It lets you be Jaden, and Jaden's the best Yu-Gi-Oh character, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Click that little like button if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more Duel Links stuff, I guess just tell me, because I don't know how much Duel Links stuff I'm going to do regularly, because I really want to make Elemental Heroes better than they are. But it's not that easy. I know D-Free and I talk about it a lot. I'm sure you've seen some of the decks with Neos that he's worked on, and I try to help him out with those when I can. But hey, maybe one day we'll solve the puzzle and Elemental Heroes will be great. Or maybe they'll actually release some support cards instead of making Cyber Angels better and better and better. But we'll find out in the future, won't we? Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.